All right, folks, me and Kale got on a really good crankbait bite on the river the other day. Caught like 41 fish, so I had to come up here to Bass Pro because I really don't have a crankbait rod, like a nicer setup. And, you know, I like the finer things. I like the nicer stuff. You know, you get what you pay for. And so I wanted to get a little better setup for cranking, because that's mainly all we do is fish soft plastics on the river and cranks. So just left Bass Pro, spent a good little bit. I bought this 7-foot Kevin Van Dam Lose series rod, 7-foot medium action. I was in between medium heavy, but I ended up going with medium, and action fast tip. So pretty good crank setup. Then I bought some crankbaits. Got some, the reels rated for 10 to 20 pound tests. I always like fluorocarbon much more than mono. And I like 12 pound test. That's a good, medium for me. And we got some Bandit cranks. I bought some for Kale as well. They didn't have all the colors he wanted, so I only got him 2 of the one he wanted, which is this one. And I think it's called Silver Minnow Sparkle or something. Then they didn't have the reel I wanted. Well, they had it, but they didn't have it in right-handed. They were all out of the Shimano SLX, because I've been wanting to try that reel. So ended up going with the cheaper, just a little $80, well, not super cheap, but $79 or $80 Pflueger President, you know, old reliable reel. I've heard a lot about these. I've heard people have them for years. Mainly all Bandit cranks though, other than I did try out, where is it? Yeah, this bad girl right here. Bigger than the 2-inch long Bandits. The Bandits, me and Kale, usually where we're fishing, it's usually 8 to 13 feet deep above rocks. So we went with the 8 to 12 foot deep on those. And then I saw this little section, Norman, which I've never really heard of them. They got the gel coat paint on the crank. Looks really good, really pretty. But I like that kind of a shad color. Looks like it'd be good and for what we're doing. But it's a 9 to 12 foot, and it's just, I don't know how long this is, but you can tell that it's bigger profile than the Bandits. The Bandits are 2 inches, I believe, 2 inches long. So that's probably 2.5, maybe. Can't really tell in the package, but it's definitely bigger. But yeah, it's probably 2.5. Might be 3 inches. Dang sure might. But that's a pretty good looking bait right there. I like that. And it was just about the same price. I think it was the same price as these Bandits, but you can't go wrong with Bandits. But anyways, I'm gonna get home and set this thing up, and I'll show y'all what we got going on and see how I like it. All right, so we're back home. Here's the Pflueger. Let's open that bad boy up. Like I said, not a super expensive reel, not a super cheap reel. It wasn't the one I wanted. I wanted the Shimano SLX, just because it's a pretty good reel for $99. But this will suffice. So my preferred thing for cranking is around a 7-foot rod and medium to medium heavy action. That one that I bought's a medium, and fast action tip. And a reel that has a gear ratio of like 6-to-1 to 7-to-1. This one is a little slower. It's a 6.5 one. I think the SLX I was looking at was a 6.8 one. But that'll be fine. I don't crank really fast. I'm not cranking most of the time in shallow water. It's usually pretty deep, 6 to 14 feet. So this is fine with me. It'll work. It's a good built reel, you know. It's a Pflueger President, good, reliable reel. And I care more about the rod anyway than the reel. But anyway, I'm gonna put this Seeger fluorocarbon, 12 pound. Like I said, I like 12 pound, and I love fluorocarbon. I hate monofilament. I used to use mono a lot. Not a really big fan anymore, other than backing it to braid on my spinning reel. But anyway, I'm gonna do an arbor knot to the spool. If you don't know what an arbor knot is, it's my favorite knot to tie to the spool, and then we'll go from there. But I'm gonna do that off camera because it's gonna be hard to do on camera. All right, so the arbor knot is tied. Now I need to clip this tag end. There we go. All right, and that is not coming off. All right, so on to the next step. All right, folks. So I was having trouble with the open lock right here. It will not go to lock, and I was thinking that's why it wasn't spooling properly, but I read on this side right here, it says instant anti-reverse, and that was my problem. So I just had to click that a bunch. Like I said, I've never owned a Fluger reel, but let's see if this will spool now. Oh yeah, now she's going on good. So I'm gonna use my rag where I wet it a little bit, and I have my line and water for less line memory. So let's spool her up nice and even. A 12-pound fluoro, sweet spot. This is a 651 gear ratio reel, $79 at Bass Pro. 7-foot medium fast action tip, Kevin Van Dam series Lose rod from Bass Pro. I think it was $109. $16 for the 12-pound fluoro, and all the crankbaits were like close to $8 or $9. Relatively cheap setup. What happened there? That's probably about all I'm gonna do. Spooled nicely though. So I pretty much used about the entire 200-yard spool. I went about probably 130 yards maybe on the thing, but just because you have a spool with just a little line, you can always, you know, tie double uni leader to a braid or whatever, so you always save that. You know, this stuff ain't cheap. I use it for leader all the time. We'll put that back in there, go to my line stash, and we will tie one of these bad boys on and go down to the river. All right, so she got her spooled up nicely. Looks good with that 12-pound fluoro. I'm gonna tie one of these on, probably this Silver Minnow Sparkle 12 foot deep, exactly what I need. And we're gonna go take her down to the boat ramp and throw and mess with the brakes and the spool tension and get her exactly for my casting style, and we'll go from there, see how smooth she is, the new setup. We'll just go with now these are 2-inch baits, perfect size. We're gonna go with just a regular fisherman's knot. Nothing crazy. Let's see. Twist her around. I like to do about 6 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come through. Come back up. Oh, them hooks are sharp. Come back up through. And then I like to wet it with my mouth and slide it down. And that's a good knot. Bite the tag end off. Now let's go test her out at the river. See, these brakes are on max right here. So I'm going to turn them all the way to 0. Like that. See, it's at 0. That's max all the way that way. So we'll go from there once we get down to the water. Set her in the back of the truck and let's ride. Alright, down at the river, we're gonna see what she's about. Test this new setup. Alright, let's see what we got going on. She looks good. Oh, there's a fish hitting right there. Alright, let's see. Okay. Massive backlash. Spool tension was way too light. And the brakes are completely on 0. So let's get this out and tune her up. Whew, that was rough. Alright, there we go. Oh, no, a little more. Good gosh. Alright. There we go, completely out. Just reel back up. There's fish hitting. Oh gosh. Pull that out, no line knots. Okay, there we go. So let's ease the tension up a little bit on this knob. That's the spool tension. And I had it on 0, so let's go probably about halfway. I like this. It feels good. Feels good. I can feel that crank really shaking. Alright. Oh yeah, it's working. Oh, it looks good in the water. Alright, let's see. Okay, now that was a lot better. That was a lot better. A lot of fish hitting. They're running a lot of current. Ooh, that joker looks good. Alright, I'm going to adjust the spool back about 1. Gotta find that sweet spot. Alright, let's adjust it back about 3 notches. Let's see. That falls falls pretty good. Falls quick, but I like that. But where it's at, let's see. I'll turn the brakes a little more. Okay, now that's a far cast. Pretty far cast. The rod feels good. Let's see if I'll turn the brakes a little more. Maybe, let's see, line tension's pretty good. All right, let's try. See that fast action rod tip? That's nice. Ooh, that crank looks good. All right, let's adjust it. Okay, that's real light on the spool tension. Real light. All right. Yeah, you can toss it. You can toss that baby. All right, folks, I think I found my sweet spot. All right, y'all watch how how fast the bait falls on the line spool. Pretty quick. And then I have the brakes set at 1 click. Like if it was straight down, it'd be half from 0 to max. I got it 1 click shy of straight down. And we can get cast about like this. Which I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that's pretty far. Plenty far. So that'll do it. So, you know, $70 fluger feels good, feels smooth. Or $79 reel on the $110 Kevin Van Dam Lose Series. Oh, look at that! I just scared a bunch of shad. But yeah, I didn't match the colors too great, but you know, I don't care about that really. I care about functionality and catching fish. And like I said, we got the little Bandit 300 right here, 2 inches long. It'll dive from 8 to 12, exactly what I need. And yeah, so that's it, folks. Maybe next video I can show you catching some bass on it. Can't wait to catch the first fish on it. Anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.